Majestic, isn't it?
Yes?
Huh? What? You mean the living dead, the watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times. But at least something happens. It makes this place less boring. Keep your chin up.
Ahoy! Ahoy!
Yes?
Oh my. Another exhausted soul, aren't you? Are you sure you want to keep going like that? I mean, like that? come on! Don't you think I see how you're slaving away? You can hardly put one foot before the other. Look how exhausted you are. And this armor. Whew, it must weigh tons. Thank Malphus, I have just the right thing for you. A way to ease your travels. A mount. And you know what? Today's your lucky day. If you agree to help me out with a little problem of mine, I'll give you one for free. Gnarldolf, a troll. For 2 months now, every night, I've been hearing this horrible, bloodthirsty grunting near the farm. The guard says I'm only imagining it, but trust me, I've seen enough of the world to know troll noises when I hear them. When it all started, the grunting came from back in the forest, but it's gotten closer each night, and I'm sure that thing is out for my animals. So, what do you say? You kill Gnarldolf for me, and in return, you will get one of my very best donkeys for free. Whirlwind. And believe me, he lives up to his name. What? That doesn't ring a bell. Gnarldolf? As in, the Gnarldolf? From the fairy tale, The Seraph and the Beast. Considering how horrible the grunting sounds, that name seemed fitting to me. But call him what you want, it doesn't matter, as long as you kill him. Oh, that should be pretty easy. Just wait until shortly after midnight and then scout the area. Eventually, you'll hear that grunting I told you about, then just find out where it comes from. And needless to say, be careful. You look like you can take care of yourself, otherwise I wouldn't have asked. But these beasts are not to be underestimated.
Man's abode.
So, any progress?
And here we are. Welcome to Ark. I've got some things to take care of here. So let's meet at the market once you're ready to meet Grandmaster Teolor Arenthiel and his mages in person, alright? By his own son, Nerazil, yeah. But roughly 2.5 years ago, he suddenly appeared back in Enderal, accompanied by a handful of mages who once fought against him in the Great War. Weird, I know, but that's how it was. He did, yeah. It seems that something happened between him and them that made them sort out their issues, you could say. They're allies now, and frankly, nobody quite knows why. You can imagine what kind of uproar that caused among the Holy Order itself. But in the end, Arenthiel got things his way. You can say what you want about him, but he never lost his charisma, that's for sure. You're telling me. But apparently their alliance has something to do with this red madness. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, sure, I should have thought of that. Pardon me. Alright then. Ark is divided into 5 districts, not counting the harbor. The Foreign Quarter, where we are right now, the Marketplace, the Nobles' Quarters, the South Quarter, and the Temple. If you're looking to gear up, I guess the market would be the place to go. You can find anything there, from food to weapons, armor, and whatever else you need. If it's magical supplies and alchemy you need, however, you best try your luck in the Nobles' Quarters. But prepare yourself for some dismissive looks. Up there's also the bathing house and the theater, in case you have the coin for that. Finally, there's the temple, which is hard to overlook. Normal citizens are not permitted to enter it, and from up there, the Holy Order reigns over this country. But if all goes according to plan, you'll soon see it from the inside. And then there's the Undercity. Yeah, it doesn't, and it isn't. The Undercity's a cluster of caves directly beneath our feet. And down there is where the poor and the sick live, not to mention those that the Order doesn't like to see in their neat, pretty streets in the upper city. Not a place I'd recommend you visit, at least not unless you're looking for mischievous things. Great. Then see you later and enjoy your stay.
My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together. Well, it is actually quite simple, but since you were kind enough not to just ignore me and walk by as the others did, I would like to show my gratitude for that first. You travel a lot, don't you? I can tell by the mud on your boots. Here, one of these books might come in handy on your journeys. Which one do you prefer? They are, crafting books. I suppose you can call them that. They contain some valuable knowledge about the arts such as smithing, alchemy, or even lockpicking. Not that I would ever imply you'd do such a thing except in an old ruin, but you get the picture. Splendid! Say, would you happen to be interested in earning yourself some more coins? Or, even better, more books like those? There is something I need help with. I have a problem, and this problem is called Celia, which happens to be my sister. Where should I start? You know, I am one of those people who wasn't given everything by fate. Quite the contrary, in fact. When I was a child, the village I grew up in, Foamville, was ambushed by bandits, and both my father and my mother died during the attack. Thank you, but it's ancient history now. Fact is, my sister and I dealt with this event differently. We managed to flee the attack and make it to Ark, where the guards, of course, threw us into the Undercity. But while I tried to honor my father's heritage by using the little I could from our savings by setting up a business, she preferred to wallow in her misery instead. She got to know the wrong people and has, since then, never done a single bit of honest work. Frankly, she's a dust addict. Day and night she does nothing else but rot in those drinking holes in the Undercity and blows what little money she makes on her drage. Now, of course, she is still my sister. So all of these years I paid her rent so she doesn't have to sleep on the streets. However, things have changed. Recently she started using our father's heritage to pay for her addiction, and I will not accept that. I certainly could, but the day a guard voluntarily goes into the Undercity is the day a Vartia will become a barber. The Undercity belongs to Relata, and Celia knows that, which is why my hands are tied. Well, technically it's our money. Basically, it was a share our father had in a small business here. He was so proud of it, you wouldn't believe it. Luckily enough, I managed to save that paper from the bandits and turned it in at the bank a few years ago, after I realized how valuable it was. Since then, it has turned into quite a formidable sum. Nothing huge, of course, but enough to save my business from bankruptcy. You understand? In theory, it is our money, but without me, she would probably have sold it for a bottle of ale, and I won't let her spit on our father's heritage that way. Of course, you wouldn't know that. Glimmercap dust, the blue bliss, or however you want to call it. It's a drage, a dangerous one. Apparently, it makes you feel as if you're walking the eternal paths, but it also kills you quicker than the sunfire. Oh, believe me, I did. Which is why she simply hid the key to our safe in the bank somewhere that I couldn't find it. So, long story short, this is where you come in. I want you to get her to give me that key. How you do it is up to you, but if you succeed, it won't be to your disadvantage. Anywhere there's rats and dust, but she spends most of her time in the False Dog in the Undercity, one of those dumps I told you about. Just come back to me once you've found something.
Malfash's blessings. Come back anytime. Yes, of course you'd say that. Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you? Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you? Only if you know what to look for. I'm one myself, so I do. Balhazel, pleased to make your acquaintance. Tell me, if you're new in this city, are you perchance also looking for work? Excuse me, what was I saying? I'm looking for a hand. Well, neither do you. But to answer your question, I'm Arizaline, but third generation Arizaline, so it doesn't show that much anymore. Apart from my name and my skin, there's little left of my roots, I'm afraid. Anyway, so what did you say? Interested in some well-paid, honest work? It's simple. I want you to find something for me. You know, I'm a healer, just like my father was, and my grandfather before that. When he came to this country, he did so because he had been hired by an Arca noblewoman, a bright lady who valued science and the arts of healing. In any case, my grandfather spent a large portion of life working for this lady in an old, abandoned fort near the now deserted village of Fogville. Together with a good dozen other apothecary, he planned for my father to succeed him. But before he had the chance to, the mushroom plague occurred. Yes, that one. The spores of those mushrooms have literally sucked all the life from the forest and its surroundings. Plus, they are a threat to everyone who comes close. It does seem likely, doesn't it? Both my father and I have asked my grandfather this question too, but he has always denied it. The plague was a magical phenomenon, a freak of nature, no more, no less. Those were his words. However, I've made some troubling discoveries which have led me to doubt that. I believe the plague might have been fabricated. Well, this is exactly what I want you to find out. Unfortunately, the noblewoman whom my grandfather worked for has long been dead, and she was the last in their bloodline, so I couldn't find any answers there. But the old fortress where they worked still stands. Look at me, you'll have the answer. I'm old and far from made for the road to begin with. Furthermore, all those undead who've been roaming the wilderness since that red madness began don't exactly make the idea more inviting. But don't worry, if you succeed, I'll make it worth your while. Isn't that obvious? Because I want to understand. You know, we Arzalines believe in the debt of blood. If my grandfather committed a crime, it is my responsibility to atone for it. Plus, I believe that if there was a way to, well, to cure that plague, it is hidden within that fortress. Whatever harm the mushrooms can do, they can also reverse it. My father never cared much about all this, but I'm different. If there's one thing I want to achieve in my life, then it's clarity. Reports, scrolls, samples of their work, anything that could be of relevance. Just look around. Do you have a map? Here, the fortress should be in this area. Best you take a Myra to Fogville. In the village harbour, there was a hut where my grandfather lived when he was off duty. Chances are you'll find a key to the fortress there. Good luck, and thank you. If you have found the material, you can find me in the Undercity, near the old waterworks. My laboratory is there. find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
Solid.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Idiots.
Hello.
My sir? They always go too easy on the scum.
Now where did I put that?
Oh my.
Walk blessed.
Greetings.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. A miracle has happened. A miracle
The
that
controversial
must happen
recruit?
due to
So,
a sheer
how are
glory
you?
brought forth
Fine,
by Malthus
I guess.
himself.
Why are you asking?
Oh, just because.
Returned.
Oh,
Yes,
I see.
right.
Hungry
Then
for
see you
arcane
around,
secrets?
pal.
I have
And
scrolls
let old
of
Earthhammer take a look at your armor.
Anything
It looks like it could use it.
Yes, of course. Walk blessed.
Of the Holy Order. The esteemed Trakesha, Natara Dal Varim, thereby returns to her position as second in command, and no one else but Tilor Arenthil himself shall lead this holy city from this day on. His fearless leadership shall be what helps us find our way through these troubled times. Cherish, O brothers and sisters. Cherish and thank the Lord for his mercy.
If it's climb and seek,
Well, look who's arrived. Did you have any problems finding your way around? This city can be quite a maze if you don't know it. Right, you're from Ostian. I almost forgot. They're quite fascinating, these places, aren't they? You can climb high, and you can fall just as deep. And every place vibrates with life. Here, put this on. And before you ask, yes, it's necessary. Just trust me.
They just sit on their asses and settle themselves.